Hello and welcome to another live stream. I hope that you are all very well. Before we continue, can somebody confirm that I can be heard? I'm happy to be here. Good. Can somebody hear me? Just say yes or no if they can hear me, and that would really be appreciated. Fantastic. I think. Oh, well, let's carry on then. And I'm sure people will tell me if I cannot be heard. Do apologize. Okay, what type of learner driver are you? Can anybody hear me? Okay, what type of learner driver are you? We all learn in different ways. Some of us learn, oh, fantastic. I can hear you from what? Edolites. Edolites, thank you very much. That's appreciated. I was starting to feel a bit nervous, so I'm very chilled and we're going to start. What type of learner driver are you? In fact, I shouldn't really say what type of learner driver. I should say, what type of learner are you? Whether you are learning to drive a car, whether you're learning to pass your theory test, whether you're studying for your theory test, or whether you're studying for GCSEs, A levels, or a degree, it's the same thing. We are still learning. So this is what we're going to be talking about today, is learning. Now, there is something though. If you are good at something, then you will enjoy it. So if you're good at cooking, then you will enjoy cooking. If you're good at swimming, you will enjoy swimming naturally. If you're good at driving, then you will enjoy it. But what happens? I've missed a slide actually. As I was saying, if you're good at something, you will enjoy it. We are all capable of amazing things. You are capable of amazing things. But what happens if you are not good at something? So if you're not, let's say, good at cooking, what do? Do you just give up and say, I'm not good at it? The solution is you have to find a way to enjoy it. Because, as I said earlier, if you enjoy something, then you'll become good at it. If you're good at something, you will enjoy it. And if you enjoy something, you will become good at it. So it's a circle. So whatever it is, if you're not good at driving, for example, if you're not good at roundabouts, or if you're not good at reversing, you need to find a way of enjoying it. And that's what I'm going to tell you in this live stream on how to enjoy your driving lessons and how to make it beneficial to you, how to get every minute's worth from your driving instructor. Oh, sunny Spain. This is the magic word for today. And I'm going to ask this word later on. And the person who gets the word correctly first time will win our Psychology of Learning to Drive course. For those of you who want to purchase the course, the link is in the text below. So let's carry on now. The VAC learning system. The VAC learning system was discovered by psychologists over 100 years ago. And what they believe or what they believed at that time, and many still do, is that we learn in three main different ways. And as I said before, it's not just driving, it can be cooking, it can be swimming, it can be dancing, whatever it is, the VAC learning system will apply. So the first way of learning is auditory. So we tend to listen with our ears and learn using our ears. Learners that are auditory, so if you're an auditory person and you're having a conversation with some friends in a relaxed way, you may say something along the lines of, yeah, that rings a bell. Or you may say, I hear what you're saying. Or, yeah, that sounds good to me. So something along those words. So you would tend to use the words related to hearing. The next type of learner is a visual learner. Visual learners prefer pictures, diagrams, things along those lines. And if you're a visual learner and you're with a group of friends, you may say something like, I see what you mean, or I get the picture. You may say, what's your view on this? So we tend to use these type of words when we are comfortable with our friends. So the next type of learner is kinesthetic. These types of learners, they prefer to do something, try it out. So if they buy something from IKEA, they don't want to be looking through the instructions, and they don't want to listen to instructions. They just want to have a go themselves. Now, if you're a kinesthetic person, you may find yourself saying things like, that feels right, or how does that grab you? Or you might say something like, let me have a go, let me try. So these are the different types of learners. Let me ask you something, because the chat's gone a bit quiet at the moment. Normally, a lot of people are commenting, but today, not many. So I want to ask, how would you complain? For example, let's say you've bought a mobile phone and it's not working. Would you go back to the shop that you purchased it at? Would you want to see the person in the eyes and talk to them? So, in other words, a kinesthetic person, would you prefer to phone them and have a good conversation over the phone, referring to an auditory person? Or would you prefer to write a strong email, or even get annoyed with yourself and bang your hands on the table? A kinesthetic person. Okay. Just going to read some text here. Yeah, Safia Mohammed said, back to the shop. Okay, let's assume that you're lost in an unknown city. Let's say you've gone on holiday and you've got lost. What would you do? Would you prefer to ask for directions, and you prefer to listen to those directions from a person, so you're being auditory? Or would you prefer to look at your Google Maps? So you've got the maps in front of you and you're just following it. So you visually have the map there. Or would you just say, you know what? I'm on holiday. It doesn't matter. I'm in no hurry. And just find your way around. Try. Vidya Nathan said, write an email complaining non-working a phone. Yeah. So we all learn in different ways. I mean, Safia said that she would go back to the shop. Vidya said um, complain by email. And Ed Edolites Watch said, I'll ask for directions. So yeah, that's your choice. We are all different and we all learn in different ways. However, just because you think or you've answered the questions and you think, you know what, I'm an auditory person and that's the way I'm going to learn. It's a combination. The auditory style may be your preferred learning style. For me, the auditory style is my preferred learning style. Why? Well, to be honest, I've always struggled with my reading and writing. I've suffered from dyslexia, and therefore I prefer to listen. I listen to several books, at least one book a week, and that just makes it easier for me. But that doesn't mean that I won't want to try something out for myself, or if I'm abroad, that I would ask for directions. I personally prefer to use Google Maps. So we can combine these different learning styles. Now, in the description, in the text below, I've put a link to our website that has um, some questions. It has about 20, 25 questions. And if you answer those questions, um, it'll work out what type of learner you are. So if you answer the questions in the towards the auditory style, then it'll work that out and it'll say, yeah, you're an auditory person. Whereas if you answer certain questions going towards the visual, then it'll do that. So not now, but at the end at the end of this live stream, I would love for you to click that link and just play around with it and just have a bit of fun. And even after the live stream, comment in the text below and let me know how you got on. Okay, now the reason the chat is quiet today is because no one's really interested in learning styles, I think. So, what are you guys interested in? I'm guessing you're interested in passing your driving test because that's what I introduced the video as, what type of learner driver you are. And I said to you that I'm going to make your driving lessons enjoyable. So let's just assume that you're an auditory person. How can you apply that to your driving lessons? And even if you click on the link and you discover that you're a visual person, that does not mean that you do not have to follow these tips. My advice is follow every single tip on this live stream and enjoy your lessons. So the first thing, if you're an auditory person, that you can do in your driving lessons is, of course, with the driving instructor's permission, is record the instructor giving you feedback, record the instructor giving you briefings on how a roundabout is supposed to be approached, or even maneuvers. You can ask the instructor, look, I'm going to record you. Can you just give me step-by-step instructions on how to do a reverse bay park or a forward bay park? That way you'll have the instructions there. The other thing is that no one is perfect. And To perfect something, it takes 1,000 hours. If you want to be perfect something, scientists say it takes 1,000 hours to perfect it. So we haven't got 1,000 hours. Well, not at the moment we haven't. So after a few years' time, once you've been driving for 1,000 hours, then you can say, yes, I'm a good driver. But at this stage, you want to enjoy your lessons, you want to pass your driving test, rather than just doing your driving lessons in the instructor's car. Listen to the instructor's recording at home after the driving lessons as well, between lessons. If you're an auditory person, read out loudly. Rather than you reading in your mind, read loudly. So if you've got a book on driving, or if you've got any instructions, if you're reading anything, read out loudly, and that is more likely to stick in your mind. Auditory persons, ordinary people, they love to talk on the phone. So why not use this to your advantage? You've done your driving lesson. After the lesson, why not talk to your friends? Ask them how they would do a reverse bay park. Talk to them and say how your instructor taught you. Run through the instructions and see, compare notes, compare instructions over the phone to see what their instructor has taught them, what your instructor has taught you. Even if you have the same instructor, you can always still call them and say, listen, if you were in this situation, you were doing a bay park, what would you do? And then you can explain what you would do. Okay, so that was the auditory style of learning. So let's assume that you're a visual learner. What can you do to make your lessons more enjoyable? What can you do to make the information go from the short-term memory bank into the longer-term memory bank? The first thing is demonstration. So if you're struggling with, let's say, the parallel park, you can simply ask your instructor, listen, please take the driving seat. I would like to watch you how you do your parallel park from inside the car and from outside the car. You can even record the instructor on your phone from outside the car, and you can record how it's done. You can record the steering wheel, at what stage he steers or she steers, and which way they steer at what stage. Once you've got all this, please bear in mind, it's no point unless you look at it between lessons. The more often you look at it, the easier the lessons will become, and the more you'll enjoy them. And if you enjoy something, as I said, you'll become good at it. Make notes. If you don't feel comfortable recording your instructor, or the instructor does not want you to record them, make notes. Step-by-step instructions. Okay, this is how you're to approach a roundabout. This is what lane to do. This is what. Get the instructors down. Arvi, fantastic. He said, oh, you can just save your YouTube videos on your phone. That's the best comment ever. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so make notes. Back to serious stuff. Making notes, making a physical note, you're actually changing. You're making a change to the piece of paper. In the same way, you're making a change in your brain. The information is moving from the hippocampus the short-term memory bank into your long-term memory bank. You can take pictures. Take pictures of roundabouts. You can take pictures of road markings. And not just during the driving lessons, you can take pictures of a roundabout sign whilst you're walking as a pedestrian. Molly Moon said, flashcards help me. I write down things like POM, DSSM, MSM. Fantastic. Great idea. Yeah. But, if you've got mobile phone, you can make your own flashcards and works out cheaper as well. Now, here's another idea. As I said, it's not just for visual people, not just for visual persons. Anybody can do this. If you're struggling on a particular roundabout, I mean, this is the White Hart roundabout in Greenford, stroke Southall. It's on the Southall and the Yedding driving test route. When you're in the car, you're trying to do 100 different things at once. It's complicated. When you're sitting at home, you go into Google Maps and you zoom in and you can see the road markings, you can see the layout, and you can decide which lane to approach in and how you're going to exit it, and everything. You can draw it out, and that'll make it easier for you once you get in the car. Now, this is the same roundabout, and I've taken this image from Google Maps. Rather than having the sky view like in the previous image, I've taken the pedestrian view, the street view, as it's called. So here, you're approaching this roundabout, and you can see, okay, so if the driving examiner asks me to go straight on, follow the road ahead, that's the second exit, and I'm going to be heading towards Ruislip. No, that's the third exit, sorry. So if the examiner said to me, follow the road ahead, I'll be taking the third exit. So the first exit is Heathrow, second exit is Yedding, and the third exit is Ruislip, Uxbridge. And again, when you're on street view, you can go forward and then you can see the road markings clearly. You can see the lanes and you can drive along that route. So you don't have to be physically in the car. You can get the view of the road whilst you are sitting in the comfort of your own home. Edolite said, what I normally do is share my YouTube lessons. Yeah, share my YouTube lessons to my What's up? Okay. Oops, something went wrong there. Clicked too much times. We're now going to move on to the kinesthetic person. These are the people who prefer to have a go. Now, you're going to be very, very surprised with this. I actually haven't told anybody about this for, ages. I mean, when I was like 17 and I was learning to drive, this is one of the things I did. I bought myself a toy car, just a small one, because as long as the steering wheel turns, that means the front wheels will turn. And you can actually see, because when people are learning, for example, reverse around the corner, they're sitting down like this and they're thinking, oh, which way do I steer? But if you've got a toy car, you can steer it towards the right. In fact, I don't even like to use the word in right or left. I prefer to use the words towards the road or towards the curb. So you could have, let's say, a book, and you could say, this book is the pavement, and I'm going to put your phone there as a car, reverse your car round the phone, and say, okay, I'm going to steer towards the pavement, and you can see which way the back of the car will move, and you can try it the wrong way and see which way the vehicle moves. This is the way I learned to do my reversing, and I really do think is a fantastic idea. Now, the other thing you can do, and please, this is not just for kinesthetic learners, you can all try this and it does work. If you're, let's say, in the beginning of your lessons and you want to practice the push and pull method of steering, you can get a large dinner plate and you can sit there going push and pull, push and pull. Alternatively, if you're at an advanced stage of driving, for example, let's assume you've got your driving test coming up. Let's say you've got your driving test coming up tomorrow and you want to practice, let's say, reverse bay park. I say reverse bay park because a lot of people, they struggle with their reversing. You can just sit down on a chair, close your eyes, and you can imagine yourself in your car. And better still, if you've got a family car in the driveway without the engine on, you can just sit in the car, hold the steering wheel, or not even hold the steering wheel, just hold nothing really, hold your hands, and you can say, okay, now I've been asked to reverse back, so the first thing I'm going to do is my observations. So you make all the observations and then you say, okay, I'm now going to reverse back. So you select the reverse gear, reverse back until whatever point that your instructor has given you, and then you go through it step by step. Now, as I said earlier, to perfect something, it takes 1,000 hours. Now, we haven't got 1,000 hours before the driving test, but every hour you put into it will be beneficial. The thing is, driving instructors are expensive. And for them to provide you with one-to-one tuition, they have to in order to pay their bills. But there's nothing preventing you, whatever you've learned in your lesson, coming home, sitting down with a nice cup of tea and just running through it in your head. You can talk yourself loudly. You can talk to yourself loudly, and that'll help you. If you're an auditory person, you can try it out yourself. You can close your eyes and you can try to visualize it if you're a visual person. But it doesn't matter what type of person you are. All this information will help. The auditory, the visual, and the kinesthetic is a preferred learning style. It's just so that you know this is what I prefer, and this is the reason I prefer it, and this is the way that I'm going to be making progress with my lessons. The other thing, if you're a kinesthetic person, especially, why not cycle on the route? So if you're struggling with, let's say, the White Hart roundabout, why not go to the White Hart roundabout and turn left? And then, so we said left was towards the Edding, turn left, and then take the second exit, and then take the third exit, take the fourth exit, do a complete U-turn. You will feel that the wind will be blowing in your face. You can hear the traffic. You can experience it. And that will help you to learn. It will help you to absorb the information, and it will help move the short-term memory to the full-term, long-term memory bank. Now, to win the course, the psychology of driving. Who's going to tell me today's magic word? Today's magic word? I'm sure I said it. I am shocked. I'm really shocked that nobody can remember the magic word, because the person who remembers the magic word is going to get this psychology of learning to drive. Does anybody remember the magic word? Okay, the magic word is sunny Spain. So, who gets the psychology of learning to drive? Congratulations to myself. I'm going to get this course and it's all mine. It would have been yours, but unfortunately, it's not. If you do want to purchase a course, the link will be in the text below. I don't know if it's there at the moment, but it will be within a few hours of this live stream finishing. Now, something else, and this may surprise you. Sticky notes. I love sticky notes. Who knows that you can use sticky notes? Manisha said, I missed the word. Okay, sticky notes. Did you know that you can use sticky notes in your official DVSA driving test? You can use them in your lessons. You can even use it in your driving test. You can use it and you can write the word blind spot and you can stick it on the mirror. So every time you look in the mirror and you think, oh, do I need to check my blind spot? No, not here. But moving off, you look in the mirror, oh my God, missed my blind spot. Check it before the examiner marks you down. You can use sticky notes to put a little L and R on the mirror, so it reminds you which way is left, which way is right. You can use sticky notes even with basic instructions for a reverse maneuver, and you can stick it there. The examiner will not object. The other thing is music. Again, it makes no difference what type of learner driver you are. As I said in the beginning, if you enjoy something, you will learn faster. You will become good at it, but you need to enjoy it. So, to enjoy your lessons, why not put your favorite calming music on and do that in all your lessons? And when you go for the driving test, again, you can have this favorite music on in the official DVSA driving test. However, out of courtesy, out of politeness, do ask the driving examiner. They will not object, but you should nevertheless ask them. Time for some bad news. The bad news is that this session has now coming to an end, but the good news is I'll be here next week. The topic will be learning in your own car, or even taking your driving test in your car. That'll be next Sunday, 3rd of March, 4 p.m. Is there any questions about any driving related topic that anybody wishes to ask? If they do, I'm here for the next few minutes. Anisha says bye, so she's not interested. Is there anyone who wants to ask me any driving related questions? No? Any at all? I'm here to answer any questions that you have. I'm going to sit here for the next 60 seconds. Any questions, anybody? No, of course not. You guys know it all. I'll tell you one thing. Nobody in this world knows it all. Yeah? Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.